Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Krishna, Hare Krishna, Guru, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Hashtotaya Sadashra A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Ananta Kota Vaishnavrinda ki Nama Acharya Shri Haridasa Thakur ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sri Vasari Gaura Bhaktavrinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan ki Shri Vrindavan Dham ki Shri Mayapur Dham ki Jagannath Puri Dham ki Ganga Maya ki Yamuna Maya ki Tulsi Deva ki Bhakti Deva ki Samaveta Bhaktivinoda ki Lord Chaitanya's Harinam Sankirtan ki Go Premanande! Oh, glories to the assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Oh, glories to Shri Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhuttale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvasesha Sunyavadi Pastichade Shatarine. Which verse is it there, Christopher?
On the board it's right. The first
23:1. Yeah. Is that correct? Yes. Who would have been the last one to know exactly if that's today's verse? Anyway, it probably is. So today we'll be reading from text 1 to 24. By the looks of it, I think 24, something like that. Oh no, 21. Up to text 21. Maybe, let's see. But first we'll read the introduction, or let's say the summary of this new chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Now for the French-speaking devotees, what arrangement will we have today? You speak English? Good. French, French.
Combien de dévots ne parlent pas l'anglais? Levez la main.
2? 3? Who's the 3? 1, 2, and 3. What should we do? You want to sit together and I'll speak slowly, or you want me speak, repeat? Which is the best?
What do you prefer?
We don't have so much time as yesterday, of course. Today's Monday. So I don't mind either way. What is easiest? Pardon?
In the back.
In the back. Who will give the translation? I mean, Jody is good, but whether you want to do it or not,
Yeah, try.
not so easy. Huh? Well, either way, somebody will have to translate. Who would that be?
Okay, I will.
Bruno?
Yeah.
That's a very nice service.
I will do my best.
I'll try to speak slowly
Please.
and clearly. Is that okay? Can you hear?
I understand.
Good. Anybody who wants French, please come over here with Bruno. If you want Slovakian, come over there with... Are you translating, Mahananda? One devotee has just arrived from Slovakia. And if anyone else wants to join the Slovakian translation, you're welcome. And Hare Krishna. So wonderful to see all the devotees, not all, but some of the devotees here today from New Mayapur. I think some have not recovered from the festival in Bourges yesterday. There was a music fest in Bourges, a city nearby. Bourges is the name of a city near here. And...
Can we just find the verse for you?
oh, it's number 1.
Because Sita Mataji, she spoke on this.
Did she read the introduction too? The summary, I
can't
guess
remember
so.
which verse, but if we
Okay,
if
find
we
the
look,
verse.
we know if we can see.
There we go, I'll leave it to you. Yes, they were invited to do kirtan there. It's a big music festival. And the devotees were invited to come and do kirtan on one of the stages there. So a group of devotees went yesterday to do kirtan. So I don't know if anyone here went, but I'm sure it was very good. We don't know. We haven't seen anyone who went yet. They're not here. And also you had a program last night with Madan Gopal, is that right? Yes. Pardon? It's a very nice place and very nice hosts. They're very nice hosts. They look after nicely. Some guests. So little by little, the message of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spreading imperceptibly. Imagine when you go on Harinam Sankirtan in Châteauroux or Blois or Tours, how many people see the devotees, whether they like or don't like, isn't it? They have an impression. Whether the impression is positive or negative, it is an impression, isn't it? You know very well in Germany in 74 or 75, wasn't it, when there was a big, the government tried to put a lot of pressure to stop our movement there. But in one sense, they advertised Krishna consciousness. Millions of people became aware of Hare Krishna, rightly or wrongly. And when Prabhupada saw the article in German, newspaper, negative, but so many times Krishna, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Everywhere, throughout the newspaper practically, at least the article. What is Hare Krishna? Never heard of them before. Who are they? Suddenly everyone knows Hare Krishna. Knowingly or unknowingly, the impression is there. This is Lord Chaitanya's movement, huh? Whether they want or whether they don't want. Whether they deserve or not. Everybody, Lord Chaitanya spread the holy name to everyone. Even the birds and the beasts. Even the hornets. I have a massive hornet in my room. I've never seen such a big hornet. Giant. Hare Krishna. Hope he gets some benefit.
Yesterday I heard that some people in the crowd recognized some devotees in the crowd and said, "Oh, you come from Tours. I know you. I already saw you in Tours."
Well, in Bourges at the music fest. Jai. See, people's the message is getting around. For maybe 30 years, not so much. But the last few years, Harinam is going on. Now it's going on in Blois regularly also. And in Tours, and 2 or 3 times a week in Paris. And other groups are going out chanting also, here and there. Books are going out. Prasadam is going out more. We want more prasadam to go out. Not enough. We're eating too much. We've got to distribute more to the public. It's nice that devotees have nice prasadam. We want to give it to the public too. And, not here this morning, but I spoke to Indaleka yesterday. Very nice that devotees are making prasad for Sankirtan. Very nice program.
We start Wednesday, we go to Tour Maharaj. We increase our Food for Life program.
Wonderful.
We tour every Wednesday, Chateauroux every Friday.
Now again, 2 days a week. Wonderful. So Food for Life is going on. Drop in the ocean, but it makes a big difference. Huh? One drop in the ocean affects the whole ocean. Maybe a little bit. Preaching. It's not difficult, is it? To distribute some cookie to somebody. Give them an invitation. Yeah. Hare Krishna. You know, when you even walk along with a dhoti on, you're preaching. You don't even say a word. You walk along, okay, sometimes we have to wear a different dress. No problem. But when you wear a dhoti, and they see you with this paint on your forehead, and these bed sheets on, or these strange Indian dresses that ladies wear, they look nice. People like. And especially, well, not so much now, with the bald head. Huh? It used to be funny, huh? People would see these young people with bald heads. All the other young people had long hair. Huh? And these funny people had bald heads with this thing sticking out. Did we find it?
We checked it, but it's actually the very last one of that one. But it's
Okay.
tiny purple.
Yeah. Anyway, we're back to where we started. I was just, filling time in before we're back to where we began. But even though we may feel, we're not getting far, seeds are being planted. There are indications, of course, the follow-up, the keeping in touch with people, the cultivation of both devotees' spiritual lives and the public. Obviously, we understand that's very, very essential. But even without that, Prabhupada said, even if you just plant the seed, Krishna will in their heart guide them. It will happen. When I was in Africa, in Nairobi, you were in Nairobi, weren't you? Huh?
Nairobi in Kenya.
You were in Kenya, right? Who too? Pritu Prabhu, you were in Kenya? Last year, wonderful. I was there in the 70s. When the movement was like, I suppose you could say a little bit, not very developed. And when Prabhupada was, the Brahmananda Prabhu told me, Swami then, he was GBC, when I came, he said, Prabhupada had told him personally, 2 things I mentioned. One was that don't invite the Indians. Don't invite the Indians to the temple. They'll come anyway. You don't have to invite them. If you invite them, they will think, oh, they're privileged. You are inviting me? Important. And they will take over. They'll come anyway, but they should come on our terms, not their terms. It's one thing he said. Of course, it didn't go on, but that's what he said. And the second one, Brahmananda was saying, Prabhupada, it's almost a waste of time trying to preach to the local people here. They come, they stay, they look, and they steal and go. Come, look, steal and go. Someone was saying to me yesterday, I was in India, I didn't lose my shoes. I come to New Mayapur and I'd lost my shoes. Hare Krishna temples, huh? I remember there was this one in the 70s, early days. There was this one, what was it called? I can't remember, but it was a hippie travel journal. I've forgotten the name.
Lonely Planet.
Lonely Planet, probably. It had a name. Anyway, maybe it was that's still around, I don't know. But it was like giving you indications when you go to Kathmandu, or when you go to Kabul, or when you go to Marrakesh, all the holy places of the pilgrimage sites for the hippies, and Amsterdam and London. Wherever we had a Hare Krishna temple, it said, the Hare Krishna temple is a very good place if you need a new pair of shoes. You can help yourself. It's a fact, right? So, coats, shoes, you name it. Whatever they could, find hanging around. So like that in Africa, Brahmananda was saying to Prabhupada, they don't stay. I get these letters, I was answering the correspondence when I was there. And one black man would write saying, I now receive your magazine. Now I experience all symptoms of ecstasy. Shivering of body, hair standing on end, frothing at mouth. I want to come join temple now. Please send money. Typical letter you get, Typical letter. Brahmananda said, Prabhupada, it's hopeless. We're not making any progress here. Prabhupada said, that is not our purpose. He said, our purpose is to plant seeds. You may not be able to cultivate them, but they will be cultivated. They will grow in time. That's our business here. Somehow or another to plant seeds amongst all the people, especially the local people. Even if they don't understand or care, when they see you walking along the street of Tours or in Châtelet, welcome back from Bourges. Here comes one of the Bourges men. We hear the whole city was rocking with the holy name.
Yes, somehow.
Somehow. We didn't see it, but I'm sure it was happening. When devotees go on Oxford Street, some of you have been to Oxford Street in London. On Harinam. Joined us many a time. Or in some busy street in Hamburg or Munich. But Oxford Street, they say about 1 million people a day go on Oxford Street, shopping or watching or walking or whatever they do. Imagine the Harinam party going along there every day for 7 hours, 9 hours a day. Incredible, huh? And we thinking, oh, well, God, what am I doing out here? It's blooming cold. And But the Lord Chaitanya's movement is just, boom, going out like this. Millions of people seeing, sometimes on TV. I heard you on television last month. A lot of people saw it. I don't know what they saw or heard. Some impression is there. And it never goes. When Prabhupada was in Bombay, talking with Giriraj Maharaj one time, and this is early days, 74 maybe, I don't know, before any temple was opened, or even before the Juhu project was finalized, he was talking to some of the new life members and saying, life members mean Indian people who become members of the movement. They give some donation. And Prabhupada was saying to him, I want to organize Ratha Yatra. Ratha Yatra. This festival, Prabhupada said, is so important. There's temple small, but no big temple at that time. But I want to organize Ratha Yatra. Even Prabhupada introduced Ratha Yatra in the movement pretty early, huh? 67. Huh? San Francisco. 68, London. They didn't have a temple, but they did Ratha Yatra before the temple in London. That was an exciting event. I wasn't there, but we hear the stories. But in 67, Ratha Yatra was introduced in San Francisco. And ever since then, every year, the only demographics have changed. In 67, 68, 69, you will see 10,000 hippies, young Westerners, long hair, all dancing through Golden Gate Park, down to the beach, through the streets. Thousands and thousands of them. I looked at the video of maybe last year's Rath Yatra. I couldn't see one Western person hardly. 99% Indians. No problem. But, you can see how much opportunity we have. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Now the Indians have come here to preach. That's what Prabhupada wanted, huh? Lord Chaitanya's movement. Bharata Bhumite Hoila, Manusha Janmajara. And those fortunate souls born in India, what are they supposed to do?
Preach.
I am Hindu. I know all these things. I can come to your temple and teach you Bhagavad Gita. They say like that sometimes. And missing the essence of Krishna's, as we were hearing from Prithu Prabhu yesterday, how they have no idea how to really love Krishna. You all think the way I know, the way, as you were saying yesterday, Frank Sinatra, I did it my way. What to do? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is so merciful. But he's given it to everyone. And it's a fact. In India now, many of you have been and seen, but there are, how many? I do not know. Tens of thousands of brahmacharis, in India now. Everywhere. Strong devotees. You've seen even in Andhra Pradesh, so many. What to speak of in Mumbai or Delhi? Here we've got about 15 temples in Delhi.
880,000 students in Karnataka are taking the Bhagavad Gita course.
Yeah, they have a course on Bhagavad Gita in Karnataka. It's one of the states of India. And the devotees there, they have a online course on Bhagavad Gita for students. 880,000 students are on the course. That's what's happening. Okay, we may not see quite that many here on our online course here.
150 professors chanting Hare Krishna 16 rounds every day, university professors.
In Karnataka. In 150 university professors now are chanting 16 rounds a day. Is this a cult? It's crazy, huh? If 1 billion people are kind of supporting this, and not directly, but indirectly.
4,000 students in Bangalore chant 16 rounds.
In one city alone, and it's not even a major city, Mangalore. It's big, but it's not major. How many? 4,000? 4,000 students chanting 16 rounds a day. Now, what is Krishna's plan? It's not our business to speculate, but it's Lord Chaitanya's order that those born in India should make their life's mission to become Krishna conscious and spread it to others all over the world. So let us see. Prabhupada, just about how long ago? Diana Tai, you were with us? Yeah. We went to a place called Ottadunga in Calcutta. Oh, Kolkata. And that is, they have I haven't got it here, but I got this lovely little badge. It said, where it all began. Where, nobody in the world, outside of a few people in Calcutta, had heard of this little tiny preaching center in Ottadunga. It's a suburb of Calcutta. Kind of a little rundown, in fact. And it was there that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj started his preaching movement, basically. And it was there in 1922 that Abhay Charan Dey, our spiritual master, Abhay Charan A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, at that time he was Abhay Charan Dey, he went to that place with one of his friends who encouraged him to go, Narendranath Mulik. He probably even his words said, he practically dragged me there. I wasn't keen to go. I'd seen so many sadhus I was not impressed, Prabhupada said. But Narendranath convinced Prabhupada to come somehow or another. That's what Prabhupada says anyway. So he went there, and from that moment, the world changed, you could say. Because it was already, whatever, going on. But particularly at that moment, when that injection within the heart of our spiritual master, or the awakening of his mission by Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Maharaj took place. And if you do go to Mayapur, Calcutta, I've never been before, I've been trying to go for years, but we took the advantage this year. I would say it's the most profound experience of my life since joining the movement and meeting Prabhupada, for myself. It may not be the same with everyone else, but a tremendous feeling of connection, tremendous feeling of the spirit of Lord Chaitanya's movement coming through to the world today. Through our Srila Prabhupada. But a tremendous experience. From that little, you could say, humble beginning, Krishna consciousness has spread on different levels, and we can find so many faults unlimitedly, you could say, but it's incredible. When Prabhupada first came to Boston, he spoke about this when he was in Atlanta. He said, when I first arrived, I thought that these people, as soon as I say, no meat eating, no illicit sex, no intoxication, not even tea, not a cigarette, not a cup of coffee, or to speak of a glass of wine, and no gambling. And that's a big topic, which we won't get into now. It's more than just putting your money on the horses, or the lotto, bingo, or whatever they play. As soon as I say that, they will say to me, Swamiji, go home, go away. Prabhupada said that. He couldn't imagine how that's possible, that these people will follow those principles. Now we see all over the world millions and millions of people following these principles. Now that's not the goal, but this is a miracle.
17 temples just in Delhi.
Just in Delhi alone, 17 temples. How many devotees in Russia, I do not know. Anyone from Russia? How many devotees in Russia? All kinds of devotees. 100,000. 700,000. Maybe more. Okay. No wonder the government maybe has a little problem here, you know. That's quite a number. That's a large number of people of different levels chanting or following some way or another. And we're not the only group in there. There are other groups also preaching Hare Krishna. That includes them maybe. It's just amazing how Prabhupada, and you all know, or you don't know, but you may have heard how it started in Russia, just from nothing practically. A few hours Prabhupada taught to, what's his name? Anatoly or something? Anatoly? Yeah, but his name before Anatoly, I think, was it? Anatoly, I think. Just a few hours Prabhupada spoke to him, and from there, boom! Incredible, isn't it? How Krishna can work. And Prabhupada said, any of you can do it. I am one person. Krishna can work through anyone, but we have to let it happen. We put all the barriers in the way. No, they don't like us, this, that, the other. But even if we do that, you can still see how many of the world's population have heard of Hare Krishna. It's incredible a number of people. Like it or lump it. They've heard. And now Bhagavatam is available again in French language. Maybe only the first 10 or so cantos. We're hoping to start working very soon on the rest of it, to finish the other cantos off. The major subject we have to work on. And well, we haven't done many sets. So far we've just did only 300 sets, not very many, in 6 months. And most of those have gone to, you could say, devotees waiting to get a set. They've been waiting for a long time because for 35 years it was not been printed. So, but now we have to look beyond that. We can't expect, we got to distribute Srimad Bhagavatam, Srila Prabhupada's practically his life mission. How much he sacrificed. We also visited the place where Srila Prabhupada spent a lot of his time in Delhi. It's called Chippiwada. And many of you have been there. You've been there? You've been to Chippiwada? Anyone been to the Chippiwada center there? It's now, both of these places, Altadanga is now an ISKCON center, where Bhaktisiddhanta Maharaj started his Gaudiya Math. And Chippiwada is now also an ISKCON center. Both is in tiny little lanes, only about this wide, some of them. You can just walk through it. Maybe a little wider. Two people have a hard time getting through at the same time. It's right next to a major Muslim area of Old Delhi on one side and Hindu on the other side. And it's really, it's the most dense part of Delhi. Prabhupada was living there alone. Some gentleman there was running the little center or temple, whatever it was then, allowed Prabhupada to stay on the roof. At that time, they built up now. But it was an open roof then. Prabhupada was staying in a little room up there. And alone, printing or trying to write, arrange for the printing and distribute the books in Delhi on his own. 1962, 63, 64, like that. He spent a lot of time in Chippiwada. He didn't spend so much time, in a sense, as we sometimes think, in Radha Damodar temple. He only moved into the Radha Damodar temple early 60s. And much of the time he was in Delhi, working on these books. He gave his life for this, Srimad Bhagavatam. So we're going to read a little bit from this Srimad Bhagavatam now. And it appears that we're just reading the summary of the chapter today, and maybe not time to go on, because there are no purports for over 20 verses. This chapter is chapter 23 of the Srimad Bhagavatam, and this is canto number 9. In this 23rd chapter, the dynasties, some people say dynasties, the same thing, of Anu, Druyu, Turvasu, and Yadu, as well as the story of Jamhaga, are described. So there's a little bit of, you could say, genealogical table here. I don't know really if we should read it, because it's just name after name after name after name after name. What to do? I'll read the text number 1. Is it on the board? 1. Shri Shukovacha Ano Subhanarash Chakshuhu Pareshnush Cha Trayaha Sutaha Sabhanarat Kalanaraha Srinjayas Tatsutas Tataha Shishukovacha Ano Subhanaras Chakshu Pareshnushcha Trayaksutaha Subhanarat Kalanara Subhanarat Kalanara Shindayas Tatsutas Tataha Shishukovacha Ano Sabhanaraschakshu Ano Sabhanaraschakshu. Excuse me. Paresh. Did I miss it? I did a line twice, didn't I?
Yeah.
Pareshnoscha Tayaksutaha Sabhanarat Kalanara Srinjayas Tatsutas Tataha Shishukovacha Ano Sabhanaraschakshu Pareshnoscha Trayaksutaha Sabhanarat Kalanara Srinjayas Tatsutas Tataha Shishukovacha Ano Subhanaraschakshu Pareshnoscha Trayaksutaha Narat Kalanara Srinjayas Tataha Shishukovacha Ano Subhanaraschakshu Parenuscha Trayaksutaha Subhanarat Kalanaraha Srinjayas Tatsutas Tataha. Ladies, Shishukovacha Pareshnoscha Trayaksutaha Subhanarat Kalanaraha Srinjayas Tatsutas Tataha. Shri Shukovacha. Shri Shukadeva Goswami said, Anoho of Anu, the fourth of the 4 sons of Yayati, Subhanaraha, Subhanara. Now, these are all the same. Chakshu, Pareshnu, Cha, also. Trayaha, 3. Sutaha, sons. Subhanarat, from Subhanara. Kalanara, Srinjaya, Tatsutaha, son of Kalanara. Tataha, thereafter. Translation. Translation. Repeat. Translation. Shukadeva Goswami said. Okay. You may as well repeat it. There's no purport. Shukadeva Goswami said, Anu, the fourth son of Yayati, had 3 sons named Subhanara, Chakshu, and Pareshnu. O king, from Subhanara came a son named Kalanara. And from Kalanara came a son named Srinjaya. Jai. Any questions? You can ask a lot of questions. I won't be able to give an answer to it, though. It's interesting. This is basically, and we see this in the Bible also. Some, I don't know, Preacher probably would be able to inform us, but I remember reading when I read the Bible a long time ago, some sections are a long list of names. So-and-so gave birth to so-and-so who gave birth to so-and-so. And in one sense, it's maybe we just skip over it. It doesn't seem to have any relevance or philosophical significance. It's not very exciting. There's no story there. Boring. Even here, names which we can't relate to. I'm sure none of your schoolboy friends were known as Subhanara or Pareshnu or Kalanara. If it was David, John, Fred, Bert, whatever, you might, oh, that's my uncle's name. You might relate. But what is the point of all this? Long list of names. I'll read the next one. From Sinjaya came a son named Janmejaya. From Janmejaya came Mahashala. From Mahashala, Mahamana. And from Mahamana, 2 sons named Ushinara and Titikshu. Of course, many of these names we could say are purifying to hear. They may be names of great personalities in of themselves. They may be names of the Supreme. And we see this even in our Christian lineage. Most of us, maybe now, they're not. There was a funny name someone gave us recently. Were you with me? Where's Mahananda? Do you remember? Some boy told us his name. It was really strange. White boy. I don't know. Philippines, Malaysia, I don't know where it was. India, I can't remember. Really strange name. I mean, I said, how did you get that name? He said, my parents gave it. Maybe it was a girl, but their parents gave them the name. It was really weird name. I remember I was in Vienna one time at their center. I think you were there then. I think you were looking after the temple in Vienna, in Austria. I think I came once you were there. There was one boy there named Peanut. Peanut. American boy. He had the name Peanut. Can you imagine? What's your name? Peanut. You remember Peanut? It's true. I'm not making it up. What benefit does anyone get from that? Maybe become a peanut. But they used to have names, like, which were related to God. Almost all the names, you look back, Christian names, related to God. Even my name, I never knew it was related to God. Jeff, and what's that got to do with God? But you look it up in the dictionary, it means of God. God-free. Godfrey, or whatever you pronounce it. Coming from God. All the names were meant for that reason. They weren't just arbitrary names. Call it what you like, you know. Peanut, you know. Whatever. Chili powder. In India they call them chili powder, is it?
I worked in a Thai restaurant. We had names like Gun, Ice. I asked them, how do you come up with names like this?
Gun?
Yeah. Yeah, it's really strange, you know.
Where was that?
In Australia.
In Australia. Kids with the name Gun. Well, they could say Gun, Krishna Gun. Follower of Lord Krishna, huh? But Gun, bang, bang. They are significant. I don't know Sanskrit, but each of these names has a special meaning. It's not just an arbitrary name. It may be a definition or description of the qualities sometimes of that person. And we see the names of Krishna. Some people say Krishna has no name. Well, that's understood that because he has not necessarily a name, he has unlimited names. Just like, for instance, Peanut. Now, why the parents gave that name? But maybe he's like a peanut. Probably not. But oftentimes people give you a name depending on your character, right? When you grow up. It may not be an official name, but they call you, you know, a jerk. And you know that word, jerk? In America, hey, you're just a jerk, man. It means you're just, no, you're just stupid, you're useless, you're just out of it. You're just a jerk, you don't know what you're doing. And then, where's that jerk, they'll say. Nickname, huh? Nickname. According to your behavior, your qualities, etc. It describes you, according to them. I was called Worm when I was a kid. Worm. You know what a worm is? Little things, worm. Complimentary name, huh? Not usually. Usually they say you're just a worm. It means you're no good. You're like nobody. You're just like, you know, useless. Of course, worms are very valuable, as you may know if you've ever studied whatever the science is, botany or something. I don't know what it's called. But aside from that, the word, you know, say you're a man, you're just a worm. That means you're like, you know, puts you into a category of really low self-esteem, and to say the least. Well, the reason why was at school because, you know, when it rains, I don't see so many worms around here, but when it rains, oftentimes the worms all come out of the ground and they crawl across the path. You know, you've seen it? There's so many worms on the footpath or the road or something when it rains and they come out. And at the moment, many of the boys, they would jump on them. They would run around jumping on them. And I'd run around trying to pick them up and put them back on the grass before they jumped on them. So they called me Worm. You're just a worm. I like worms. Anyway, that's just one thing. The way people are named. Qualities. Krishna has, how many qualities does Krishna have? 2, 3, 4?
Unlimited.
Unlimited?
64.
64. But he's saying unlimited. They're both right, huh? 64 is in the nectar of devotion. But then it's also, Prabhupada also says actually Krishna's qualities are unlimited. You just give primary 64 and other qualities descending from those 64 or combinations, making other varieties of qualities. Or he can just awaken another quality as he wishes. Unlimited. God is unlimited. And the name is a description of that particular quality. It's not just an arbitrary name. It's a description of the Lord's unlimited qualities. Whether it's Krishna or Rama or Govinda or his form, his beautiful form. Shama Sundar. That beautiful blackish form of the Lord. And when you say that, if somebody receives a name, just like we were hearing, I know, not here, but maybe on Prabhupada lecture tape the other day, excuse me, Jamil, how lucky he was. Why was he lucky? He was #1 sinner, but he had one very good fortune. We heard yesterday about the good fortune of that, what was his name, whatever it was, from Moscow, that he had a little bit of good fortune that he waved at the devotees in Moscow. And when his accounts were read, boom, what? He saw the devotees and waved at the devotees. Woo! It was like everything else, like Prabhupada said to Giriraj Maharaj when he said to these life members, well, to them both, in Bombay, I want Rath Yatra. Because if anyone sees Lord Jagannath on the Rath car during Rath Yatra, at the time of death, that picture will come up and whew, all the other pictures will be blanked out. Just like the sun blanks out on a film. You know, the old days we had negative films. And if you expose it to the sun, blank. Finished. Krishna Surya Sam, Maya Haya Andhakara. Krishna's like the sun, Maya's darkness. Wherever there's Krishna, there's no darkness. So if that fortune, Prabhupada said the same thing in San Francisco to the assembled 10,000 hippies. Most of them were intoxicated. Others were scantily dressed, if at all. That all you boys and girls assembled here today who are seeing Lord Jagannath here on the Rath Yatra car are going back to Godhead in your next lifetime. Pretty simple, huh? Here we are struggling away. How do you comprehend that? It's like inconceivable. Maybe next life they'll take up pure devotional service, and we look at it that way. Whatever it is, it's certainly an incredible mercy of just seeing the Rath car of Lord Jagannath going along the streets. Such an important festival. There's about 1,000 Rath Yatras a year going on in ISKCON now, more or less. More or less. The COVID things were up and down, but you know, it may not be up, it may be down right now because of COVID. And in many places they had to stop it during COVID, but it was up to almost 1,000 the year before COVID. I mean, in places like Malaysia, which is a Muslim country, we have approximately 40 Rath Yatras a year. Yeah. Muslim country. We have 30 centers, about 40 Rath Yatras. Small centers, big centers, all different kinds. Not so many devotees, mostly congregation, but it's going on. In Delhi, I think they have about 30 Rath Yatras a year in Delhi, at least. Just in Delhi, one city. It's a big city, but still, it's amazing, huh? All because of Srila Prabhupada. There would be one Rath Yatra, hardly, a few Indian ones here and there, but outside of Puri, hardly any Rath Yatras going on. Outside of India, none. None at all. And now, whatever, it was up to 1,000, and we'll probably get more. It's such an important festival. If they see Jagannath, boom, everything blown out. So just by saying the name of Narayan, Ajamil was becoming purified. He named his son Narayan. So although he was a sinner, and because of that, he was delivered. Just the sound of that name. They don't know. When they say Hare Krishna, Hare Kari, Hare Kriya, or whatever it is they say, they're getting some kind of benefit there. I remember we were in Birmingham one time. Actually, I'll tell a lie. I wasn't there, but I knew who was there that time. But they told me, maybe the next week I was with the Sankirtan party in Birmingham, the Harinam party, centre of Birmingham. Every week they go. They got a spot. The council gives us a spot to chant. So they chant. There are thousands of people going boom, boom, boom like this. And one drunk, nothing unusual. This drunk came in the middle of the kirtan, rah, 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 you know, making a bit of a scene, causing a bit, shoving and pushing a bit. So anyway, somehow one of the devotees pulled him aside and talked to him. You know, try not to disturb, please. Please don't disturb. You're welcome, but don't disturb. All right, then he tried not to disturb. He was going on. Hey, he was there for ages, like moving around and with the devotees like this. And at the end, they stopped the kirtan. He was like, So Jiva Goswami says, you know, in any other process of devotional service, you know, anarthas are taken into account. But on Harinam Sankirtan, congregational chant, they are not taken into account. And anyone, even a sinner, can experience bliss on Harinam. This drunkard was experiencing something he's never experienced before. He was like completely spinning. And he was looking at the devotees like they were something from another planet or something. And he looked at them and he was something in his heart. He had a wallet. He got his wallet out of his pocket, the drunkard guy. And he had money in his wallet, £20. He had a big wad of £20 notes. He gave every devotee a £20 note. About 30 devotees all got a £20 note. Guy had no idea what's going on. The power of the holy name, you know, changes people's hearts. And even if they don't notice it, Krishna notices it. Amazing experience for those devotees. This doesn't happen very often. Sometimes this Sankirtan movement is just a miracle. It's a miracle that Lord Chaitanya, this is the real miracle. Prabhupada is taking this order of Lord Chaitanya and just distributing it everywhere. We just have to be an instrument for that mission to spread. And so, not an obstacle, an instrument. So easy. Do whatever little we can to spread Krishna consciousness. So these names are not ordinary. And now there's another aspect to this. They're all related to Krishna. That's the key. When you meet somebody, you have a special friend or something, sometimes you like to ask, where are you from? Who are your parents? Did you originally come from France, or are you from Morocco? Or somewhere, India? You know, it's related, isn't it, to that person? You know, their history. It enhances your understanding of the person. It may even enhance your attraction to that person, or your amazement that such a person is, you know, what they are now. It can have that effect too. To see the lineage, or to hear we don't have too much. There's whole websites you have to pay money for it, you know, which trace back your lineage, as far as they can go. Maybe it goes back to David or some other biblical personality. And in Islam, Christianity, Hinduism, all these religions, everybody would receive a name related, isn't it? It's a name related to God or God's prophet or his son or whatever it is. And in this way, you don't know, but one's becoming somewhat purified. So to hear these names has a purifying effect. Especially Lord Chaitanya's associates. Just to hear the names of his associates is so purifying to our consciousness. So not just to skip over it. I'll read one more verse and I guess we'll finish there. The 4 sons of Ushinara were Shibi. Now I don't know if that's the famous person Shibi, but it's maybe. Vara, Krimi, and Daksha. Krimi. And from Shibi again came 4 sons named Vrishardaba, Sudhira, Madra, and Atmatatvavit, Kekaya. The son of Titikshu was Rushadrata. From Rushadrata came Homa, from Homa Sutapa, and from Sutapa Bali. So what happens when I said the name Sutapa there? Did anyone have any thoughts? Yes, it immediately reminds you of the devotees present now. And many of the devotees, some of these names, devotees have now, Titikshu. When you say, is Nitai Gosunda here, or is he gone? When you say Titikshu, who do you think? When I said Titikshu, who do you think about? Jagannath, Lord Jagannath. Titikshu is the one devotee who brings every year Lord Jagannath to Paris. Well, he didn't bring Jagannath, he brings the Rath car to Paris every year. Jagannath's already here. But he brings the Rath car here. And he goes all over England doing Rath Yatra, all over Europe doing Rath Yatra. You remember Rath Yatra festival. So it reminds us of Krishna, somehow or another. Or you're thinking, well, what's this got to do with Krishna? It reminds you indirectly. Let me read it. What's this got to do with Krishna? The 6 sons headed by... Oh, then you say, Anga. Oh, yeah, I've heard of Anga. And on you go, India. Yeah, yeah. It's reminding us of the root of Krishna. And that's what it's all for, to remind us of Krishna. Hare Krishna. Bali. Here's another name, Bali. We have devotees named Bali. Many devotees with the name Bali. Who do you remember when we say Bali? Bali Maharaj. Famous pastime. I think that's already taken place. I think so. In this maybe in this canto. I'm not sure. 8th canto. So like that, we are reminded of the Lord. Okay, Hare Krishna. And that's our movement's business, to remind others of Krishna. Wow. Durvasa Muni. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Bruno.
Well, you welcome, my dear Maharaj.
We must be tired after that. It's amazing. You don't realize it can be very tiring translating, especially like that. It's not as easy as it seems, you know.
So thank you very much.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Yes, Peter Prabhu.
Yeah, there was an article I saw recently in the Irish Times.
Irish Times.
And they said, what is the most powerful influence on Irish society in the last 50 years? It's the Hare Krishna movement.
Good grief. Did you hear that? What is the most powerful influence on the Irish society in the last 50 years? And it said Hare Krishna.
Before that, there was no notion of yoga. Now we have yoga everywhere. Vegetarian restaurants, vegetarian cheese. It goes on and on and on.
On and on. The list goes on. Stemming, not, you could say, not direct devotional service, but the effect of this movement has made, even I heard, I didn't read it, one person from the Vegetarian Association told me that actually the effect of people becoming vegetarian, the most prominent reason is because of the Hare Krishna movement. The books that you guys have distributed, Higher Taste and this one, and the restaurants which you have changed millions of people's eating habits in the world today. It's a step in the right direction, that's all you can say. Many, many people have changed their lives, maybe not to yet practice devotional service directly, but in other ways too. Even if you know how much challenge it is, the more we can develop this community in terms of farming, agriculture, self-sufficiency, that will be a huge preaching tool, especially in France. Huge preaching. It's a sacrifice, we know that. It's not easy. And most of us are not brought up in such, let's say, lifestyles. You know, especially in the winter, getting your fingers frozen. Well, it's like that when you go on book distribution. You get your fingers frozen. Your feet are frozen. It's snowing. You're on ice. You're getting hustled. People are not reciprocating the way you would like them to anyway. But you do it because it's a yajna. Yajna. We're meant, as we heard yesterday, this is the, you could say, the central factor of Krishna consciousness, of transforming our attitude from satisfying me to satisfying Krishna. Yajna means that which satisfies Krishna. It may or may not satisfy our conditioned situation. We do it for the pleasure of Yajna vai Vishnu, for the pleasure of Vishnu. It's a yajna, sacrifice. And everybody knows, probably maybe don't actually, but without some penance, without sacrifice, Krishna's not going to reveal himself. There has to be some kind of yajna, sacrifice there. We do it for material things. You sacrifice so many years of your life to get a degree or something. You sacrifice so much of your time to get money or a position in society. We try to sacrifice our lives for the pleasure of Krishna. This is the point. So Sankirtan Yajna includes all the various limbs of devotion and the various, you could say, methodologies that Srila Prabhupada introduced to the world to spread Krishna consciousness. And farms were one of the major aspects of Srila Prabhupada's mission to bring people to Krishna consciousness and to please Krishna. So, and we all know that Prabhupada wanted, as much as we can, self-sufficiency communities. And you can take that or leave it, but that's what Prabhupada wanted. And it would be good if we could move more in that direction here. Big preaching. I remember when I was in New Govardhan Farm, I stayed there for a year in the early 90s. So many people would come, because devotees are saying, yeah, we've got an eco farm, everything's natural. They come there and they say, where's the eco farm? We're cooking on gas, everything's electricity. Everyone's got a car, everyone's got a nice modern house with all facilities, washing machines, televisions, everything in their house. Where's the eco farm that you guys told me about when we met you on the street in, Byron Bay or somewhere? No, they couldn't see anything. They're living more eco than we are. Where's the washing machine? First thing you ask when you come to town, what's the internet number? First thing, huh? Practically speaking, I can't stay, there's no internet. I think the reason is the more people are coming now is because your internet works better. It's probably the main reason, eh? We only had the internet fixed up last year. There's practically no internet here for years, next to none. Now, last year, they got this fast internet or something. Hopefully that's not the reason people are coming. But where's the hot water? Where's the where's this? Where's that? Where's the washing machine? Huh? Where's all modern conveniences? We use it in Krishna service, no harm. But how long it's going to last, we don't know. But people are impressed by alternatives, realistic alternatives. They may not be Krishna conscious, but they're inspired. They're inspired when they see the cows. They're inspired when they see you growing things. They're inspired when they see we're using those things for cooking. They're inspired when they see simple living houses and so on and so forth. Little India, this, that, the other. They're inspired. Many people who come to New Govardhan, New Mayapur, the thing that, well, what do you think? Oh, and one of the things that stands, with all due respect to everything else, but one of the things that stands out most in people's minds is Little India.
Yes.
I mean, you like it or lump it, but it's a fact. It's a fact. Gopaswami Prabhu and his wife have developed this area. It's people love it. They love it. It's even, well-to-do professionals, they love it. They think it's fantastic. They may not be able to live that way themselves, but they like it, It's attractive. They've already got nice houses. Okay, we need nice houses too, but they've got all that. That's not very impressive. Does it make sense?
They make them dream.
Yeah, but the right dream, and not the false one. Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Hare Krishna. Go Premanandi. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. We'd like to thank from the bottom of our heart Prithu Prabhu for coming here to give us his Sangha. And Nitai Gaurasundar Prabhu, thank you so much for coming. Sorry for all the inconveniences you've made. It's very pleasure to see you again. Thank you for coming. And I don't know the schedule for class, but...
Prithu Prabhu this evening is in class.
This evening? Yes. This evening, please don't miss it. There's a wonderful presentation this evening at 7 o'clock here in the temple. Prithu Prabhu will be taking us into the association of Srila Prabhupada more and more this evening, 7 o'clock. I think it's a PowerPoint presentation. I'm not sure, you have to work it out. Make sure it's ready on time, whatever. Dainatai, your responsibility. You are looking after Pitu Maharaj, Prabhu, and to make sure, talk to the relevant persons to make sure everything's ready on time. Jai. Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.